the mic. Here we go. Maybe. Hey, Marilyn.
Mary Lynn.
I always combine it, Marilyn. It's lazy. It's like Swickly. All right. Why isn't that clicking? There we go. 5, 4, 3. Welcome, everyone, and pull up a seat at the table. It's Lunchtime in Rome. Tonight's episode 232 is entitled The Best. It's been a long year so far. It's easy to be negative. We're going to be positive tonight. What are the best things? What is not only good, but better than most anything else? We'll be talking about that at the table this evening. Pull up a seat at the table and join us. First-time listeners can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or watch us live or later at youtube.com. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, you can take our relational needs questionnaire. Make sure to follow us on all social media, and it would be great if you give us a 5-star review. Jay, what specifically is this podcast about?
Being alone is the worst. Good times aren't as good, and bad times are worse when you're all alone. Romans 12:15 says to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. That is how you keep people from being alone and what this podcast is all about. So while we demonstrate that in the first 15 minutes of the podcast, we talk about it for the rest. So while it may not be 12:15 in Rome, we're treating it like it is
Lunchtime in Rome.
Brian's still in New York, but maybe for just this week.
He's been on this special assignment where he's gathering the emotional needs of all New Yorkers. And he's just going to come back with
conquest.
Like this database.
I mean, he's been there for so long. I miss him. I talked to him this past week, and he's doing well. Things are going well now, which is good.
When he shared with me, he said, how valuable his ability to emotionally respond and emotionally identify his own needs has been for him while he's there.
Yeah. And others, It's, man, looking forward to having him back.
I talked to him Monday, and we had a great talk, about 20, 25 minutes, all this stuff. And the one thing that has stuck with me is he talked about this diner he's been going to. And I'm like, I want to go to that diner.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. Man, I'm great. You're doing good, and the business is good, and God's good.
What'd you have to eat today? No, I get that. That's good. We're hanging in. We're plugging through, just like we have been. But I'm not going to focus on that right now.
No, the best.
Talking about the best, and I am looking forward to some. I'm talking about something that I'm going to do because I'm excited about it.
Ooh.
I'm reliving my childhood with my daughter on Sunday. Monster Jam. And I cannot wait.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
I am so excited.
Is it down at the
It's at
arena?
the PPG Arena.
Does she know?
No.
Oh.
And she has been on a monster truck. I mean, she's
okay. So
she
she's...
loves princesses and anything with wheels. Like that's her thing. And
a
she
handicapped princess.
she can't. All the rollator talk before the show. But she gets excited whenever she sees one. She has this monster truck game that is
that's
pretty
awesome.
consistent that she
Do they
plays
still have
on her
the
tablet.
cartoon?
I don't know. I should
You know
look
what I'm talking
that up.
about?
I do know what you're talking about. I should look that up.
What was it called?
But I've never been to Monster Jam.
I've never been to Monster
I
Jam.
always, whenever we would have those book days at school. Like,
when you
would
said
have
relive in your childhood, I thought maybe you had gone.
No, this is something I've always wanted to do.
Fulfilling.
Fulfilling.
Yes, there we go.
Living vicariously through your daughter.
Yes. Remember the bookmobile or whatever would come to
Scholastic
school.
Book Fair.
Yes, the book fair. I wouldn't buy books with words in them. That's stupid. I would buy
many words.
The monster truck book that have all the pictures of all the different monster trucks.
Man.
What were the two? The
Bigfoot was my.
Bigfoot was the blue one.
That was my pick.
What was the green one?
There was Gravedigger.
Gravedigger's the
but
other
there's a lot more. There's Megalodon, which is like a big shark. It looks cool. And then there's the zombie, which has like these arms like on. It's so silly. I cannot wait, dude. It looks like it's gonna be so much fun.
It's so funny as you say that. I picture the Civic Arena.
Oh yeah.
Like to me, that's because that was like where I went to see
Back in the
Globetrotters.
day.
And, the orange seats.
Gravedigger's home base is actually down in North Carolina.
You don't say.
It's like if you're doing heading the main stretch down toward the Outer Banks, like you'll pass Gravedigger and you can don't know if you're getting on the real Gravedigger, but you can go for a ride on their little track.
There has to be
Yeah.
multiple because I mean last week because I've been researching a little bit like what to expect, and there's one had done a backflip and landed right on top of its on the top of the truck, and I was like, they have to have another one on hand or something.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention there is a local monster truck which is Daddy's Nightmare.
Yes.
And then Daddy's Nightmare 2.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I don't remember his name, but he works for Penn Hills Public Works.
Yeah.
But at least for a while, on one of them was a decal of Young Warrior for Trey.
Oh, that's awesome.
I never saw it though, so it could have just been a lie. Could have been
That's cool.
the Trey's tree at the Jackrabbit. Also Molly's tree, and Susie's tree.
Yeah.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
No, we just assumed as much.
I like that tree.
But and then there's also on Thursday, because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the events.
Friday, Saturday.
Sunday.
On Thursday at the Texas Roadhouse in I think it's Robinson.
So wait, it's next. Wait, when are you
this
going?
Sunday. We're going this Sunday.
Because this is Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow. This
I thought
is
today
tomorrow.
was Thursday.
Tomorrow. I think it's Taco Loco or something is the name of the truck. But it's going to be on display at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh.
I might take her.
And just be like, wouldn't it be cool to see this live somewhere?
Yeah.
Wouldn't I be the best dad ever?
That'd be neat.
And then she right in the eyes, she's like, that'd be too loud.
Well, that's what I need to do.
some,
I need to buy the over the
Noise
ear.
canceling.
Yeah, because I think they have the earplugs there to give out. But
You know what?
She needs the over.
I bet we have some you could borrow.
Oh, you probably have 20 pair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
But remind me. Yeah.
Yeah, I can swing by tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, I man, and there's nothing like seeing your kid's face light up in excitement. There's that's the best.
That's the best.
Well,
That's
just
the
going
best.
down there. What an experience.
Yeah, to the big city.
Yeah,
you
get
know?
some popcorn.
Yeah,
Man,
good
that's
times.
exciting.
That does sound fun. I don't have anything so exciting coming up. I mean, I'll tell you one little bitty best that we had was last night, just sort of a fortuitous time. Got together for a Tuesday night, and different people are maybe out of town or busy or
Dealing
yeah,
with
I
what they got to
wasn't there.
deal with.
doing what they got to do. And so I go over to Jay's, and it's just me and him. And we're like, oh, this is okay. Well, maybe this is just how it's going to be. And then who comes rolling in? Joe and Ben.
Oh yeah.
And so we had a little father-son time.
It
That's awesome.
was good. It was good. It was
That is
fun.
good.
There are few people in this world I enjoy more than your son. Gosh.
I know. He's
Thank
just
you.
a delight.
Well,
The best is when he laughs and he doesn't inherently know what he's laughing at. And then the one time last night he was like, and then it went up at the end because he got it.
That's the best.
So great.
He is the best.
And it was one of those amazing races where the last team, was hours behind.
oh yeah,
Like
it was
Phil
painful.
had to come.
Painful.
Like they went the wrong way. They got
whose
on a
team?
wrong. The
it
Philadelphia.
was his Ben's actually. yeah,
Was it?
The
Yeah.
pink
the
ladies
Philly
from
girls.
Philly.
Yeah.
African American ladies.
The out of towners.
Oh yes, they always say, "Oh, we're from out of town."
They're like
to
going
get out
through
of.
India, and they're like, "We're the out of towners. We're out of towners." Like
That's like their excuse for
and they
running just
like,
through
they're-
traffic
they're
and stuff.
sticking
yeah.
out like a sore thumb. They were awesome.
They
They were
fun.
very out of town. They were in
the wrong
Germany, and they're supposed to get on this ferry, and they went the wrong way, and they
man.
got on the wrong ferry. And they're like, "Oh, we must be in first place. No other team's been by yet." Yeah, they didn't even get to the roadblock or the detour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Phil just had to meet him like halfway through the course of that day and just say, sorry.
Wow.
You're done.
Yeah,
That's such
that
a
was fun
bummer.
last night.
That was.
Speaking of Ben's laugh, though, one of my favorite memories. We were at a play. Ben had graduated, and he was coming to watch Lilybug in the play, and he was sitting behind me, and like there was there was a line, it was a joke in the play, and I just hear behind me. He just starts like
he's got the machine gun laugh going. He goes,
but there's the slow start too. Like sometimes he gets it going. And it's so funny.
oh man! But it was a good time. It was very chill and very
Isn't those
organic.
things, those times are the best.
They are.
When it's like this unexpected, organic,
Intimate,
brought together moment that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's,
definitely.
Yeah.
for me, welcome to the big guy as well. And we'd be
Hey,
remiss
guy.
if we did not thank Mary Lynn for sitting at the head of the table, for Ashley also being at the head of the table,
Yeah.
Breaking 90 sitting at the head of the table. Head to lunchtimeinrome.com, become a paid subscriber, and you too will sit at the head of the table. And again, some exciting details to come out as soon as we develop them.
We're waiting on Brian.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
Yep, that makes sense. We can sell that. Speaking of selling, I had a revelation last night, not to take anybody to an inappropriate place, but where I do most of my thinking, which would be in the shower. And I was going over the sermon series again and the sermon for this week. And I chuckled to myself. The question I get more often than not about being a pastor is, well, how much time do you spend on sermon prep? Or what day is sermon prep?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I learned it long ago when I was still on Young Life staff, but I would be a visiting preacher, for lack of a better term, that the one time I sat down at Starbucks and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this the way you're supposed to do it. And I had like a couple references and everything else. And I sat and put together 3 hours. I sat at Starbucks and it was a steaming pile of garbage. And then I left and I went to Giant Eagle, and walking through the cereal aisle, I was like, I got it. And that was it. So like now
Yeah, I'm the same way.
there is
Not with
no
sermons.
set time for me on my sermon prep. Like last night, 1:45 in the morning, I'm in the shower working on it. You know, I don't know if it's when I'm lying in bed, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And I thought back to coaching. And I always said that coaches spend an exponential amount more time thinking of and being emotionally invested in the outcome of their team than the players do. And I thought about it, like, I mean, we would carry it with us, a decision we made or a play a player didn't make and everything else. You know, on the bus ride home, they're over it. You know,
Right.
they've moved on. So I was thinking about like, well, I don't know if this makes any sense in the series, and can I get away with this? And is this the way you want me to go, God, and everything else? And I just started almost doing a Ben chuckle. Like, there is not one person in our church who is right now going, I wonder what Jay's doing for this week's sermon. I wonder if it's going to make sense.
Right.
I wonder if the hook is going to tie in.
Yeah, I've never ever thought that.
Right.
And
So-
we're like friends, and we talk like outside of sermon time about
Right, but
sermon
the amount
stuff.
of time I think about it, and it's fine. That's my calling. That's what I'm called to do. So part of my update is I'm just excited about. I had a great time this afternoon. A couple different resources, because this is a really different kind of sermon series.
Then
Then it's a little bit outside the box.
Yes.
And I mean, this week I'm literally going to say, every week I stand here and tell you what I know to be true. You know, that Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. Yep. That the best thing we can do is love people. Yep. Best way you can love people is to join them emotionally, meet their needs. Yep. I got all that. And this week I'm going to get up there and be like, I'm not really even sure about what I'm going to talk to you about today. This may or may not be true, but it's important that you consider it.
Well,
Wow.
and
I like that.
yeah, and talking kind of around that subject of what the sermon series is about. Some of those things like that you're talking about, or if there's a podcast called Blurry Creatures, but there's things that like people have witnessed or claim witness to on this earth that are unexplainable, really, you know. And there's things that have been uncovered that are unexplainable, and people are afraid to bring those things up. Christians are, you know, afraid to bring those things up, because then they would look like a not believer, because they've heard like, well, that was because back in those times, this is what happened. And
Or
you know,
I just
blah,
don't want
blah,
to
blah.
consider it.
Or it's really scary and I don't want to know. I just want to put my head in the sand.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even this week is still not that yet, but it leads to that.
Right. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
And I'm just, so I had a really good time with it this afternoon and got a grasp on it. And what's cool, you talk about imposter syndrome and all that stuff. You know, I'm taking different theories on Old Testament scriptures and then some exegetical writings, meaning outside of scripture, but of the same time period. And you're researching everything else and you see what this very famous person, they came to this conclusion, whatever. And then there's times where I'm like, oh no, I think they're all wrong. I think it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but what it might be is actually this. You know, then you're like, well, who the crap am I to think I've got a handle on this? You know, but I've also been right on things. So it's just fun to put together.
Well, and that's how God's using you.
Oh, let's hope so.
Well, and question for you, like, and this is nothing to do with emotional needs or podcast or whatever, but it's just a question.
Who do you think you are?
I am. When you do, because like you don't have like a theological degree or you know whatever.
No.
So what is your go-to for researching things that are more on the theological or like
What is my
apologetic
my number one reference I use for sermon prep?
Not number one, but you know, like what do you do?
No,
I mean, I imagine like looking online, YouTube.
Oh, it's all
and,
online.
You know,
I'm not cracking books.
Right.
Books? You know how many words are in those things?
You've read more books in the past year than you've ever read.
Parts of. So it's Enduring Word. I don't even know what it's called, commentary or whatever. And so you just go to their website and you click on, and it's good because it's not for the theological student.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So like anybody can read it and be like, oh, I mean, like occasionally I have to look stuff up. But it's Enduring Word is my number one. But then beyond that, there's a couple that I get to. But like I used to go like, I want to say Matthew Berry, but isn't that a cartoonist?
I don't know.
But there's another one, but it was like, it would just get
Dave Berry.
Dave Berry. So maybe it is.
But
No, Matthew Berry. No, Matthew
columnist.
Berry is ESPN fantasy expert.
Wow.
But anyhow, so that's the kind of stuff I use. The other thing I wanted to share very quickly was in my time of praying and gratitude to God and stuff like that. It was kind of cool, and this is going to be a really short one. I was impressed by the word traction. And I thought, traction is, it's like as long as you got a little bit of traction. So maybe it's coming out of Grief Share, but I'm thinking about Joe, I'm thinking about Bella, I'm thinking about different people in stages of life. And like, as long as you got a little bit of traction, you're going somewhere. You know, it's the worst is when there's nothing. There's no movement, or you're moving and you're spinning. Yeah. You're slipping on ice. You're going back. But if you at least have traction, so like maybe it's like when you're in the storm. How my thing is #stand. Just stand. Just weather the storm.
Right.
Okay. When the storm's over, as long as you just got. I mean, I haven't flushed it out, but God really just kind of put it on my heart, and I was like, traction.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plastics.
Man, that's the best.
So I'm going to keep perusing that. Is it the best?
That's the best when God talks to you and gives you.
Tell me about the
gives you
best,
something.
Eric.
We're going to talk about the best.
So we put it out there. Jay put it out there.
I'm not the segue guy. Let's put it that way.
Jay put it out there.
Eric's like, the best. The best is the title of this podcast. That is what we are going to talk about for the rest of the time.
There it is.
The best. Around.
Yeah.
And you put out just a very open call for people to say, what to you does that mean?
I called out.
What?
No, because that's your phrase always.
Oh, you called it out.
This out.
You just call it out.
Let's just call this out. I called out to everybody and said, what is the best?
I declare bankruptcy.
And we got a bunch. And so we're going to talk about that because it's just lighthearted. We want to join people in what they enjoy. But let's set a ground rule.
All right.
Because if we're going to celebrate the best, focus on the best, and something comes up and you don't think it's the best, are we allowed to say that?
No. Well, I mean,
maybe we
I
should
could say what I want, Eric.
Well, like, I mean,
should we search for what could be the best about it? I mean, because
it's subjective.
Well,
the best is subjective.
Right.
So
we'll try to err on the side of positivity.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Because you could be like, somebody could be like, the best is getting up at the crack of dawn. I could very easily go, not for me.
Right.
I'm more of a late night guy.
I think it's okay to say it's not the best for you, but to recognize that that can be the best
you
for
could say
somebody else.
you don't like doing it, but yeah,
I don't think
right.
anybody. I don't.
We don't need to be critical. We don't need to be critical.
I think we should find what's best in each of these bests.
I agree.
That's my goal. Because nobody. I mean, who cares if I don't think so?
And
I barely do.
And I will say too, like as I started thinking about what I would put for, or what I would qualify as the best, the way my brain works, I had to start like categorizing. I'm like, well, the best what? So I ended up like jotting down like, oh, the best first or the best last. Like what comes. So as we go through, if there's things that
You're going to categorize as we go.
I'm gonna
Make a spreadsheet.
I'm gonna have some thoughts. Yeah.
Hey, Kelly Shiring, former teacher and administrator of the Penn Hill School District.
Yeah.
Hearing the laughter of my children.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's pure.
Yeah,
That is pure.
That's a good one. There is nothing like it. Like you kind of like, especially like getting Maggie going is so fun, and I never want her like little kid
Giggle.
to go away. Oh man, it's just the best.
Specific to tonight's podcast, Rachel and I referenced Maggie yesterday. Because I said, Turtle, he's so funny. He's so funny, that turtle. Uncle Jay, he's so funny.
And then there's the and no offense to the single child family, but like when your kids are, if they are sometimes arguing, but in this moment you can hear them in the other room like laughing together about something. You're like, oh,
Nah,
they're not just getting along. They're like
having
meeting
fun.
in
And do you think
a moment.
every family gets like? Because I think of we see the Instagram reels. For those of you who are on TikToks, what do we call them? TikTok reels?
I think they're tweets.
Of babies laughing. Like whether the best are like the dogs and the babies, and
And you can't not smile or
right.
Right.
But I think you get a window into that once as a parent. Like I can remember like once the uncontrollable laughter when you make this noise.
Okay.
And then like a week later you try it again and your kid's like,
Oh yeah.
what are you doing?
Right. That's so last week.
I think you get like one of those snippets. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Hey, Becky Fenoglietto. The first mug of coffee. I love mug. First mug of coffee in a quiet house.
So
It's got to hit home for you.
she have kids?
She does.
What are the
fully
eight-
grown?
Oh, fully grown.
Oh, very
okay.
fully grown.
Because I was when I read her response, I thought that sounds like kids are off to school for the day, and you're like, that's the moment that in my head that I was like,
they're not that old.
okay.
Yeah.
But in whatever circumstance, she's like, okay, the house is quiet, things are settled, time for that first cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Because in the morning, I make a cup of coffee, and like that's like all right, we're getting into it.
Okay, apparently we're doing this.
Well, I love that on the weekends. Like it is a ritualistic thing to get up, make the cup of coffee, and like just sit down, get my iPad out, like check my texts, check my email,
Okay.
play. Okay.
Check your texts from the week.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Jay texted me Tuesday. I should get back to him right now.
Now listen.
After the coffee.
Oh boy. All right, what I'm mostly doing is playing Clash Royale. It's true.
There it is.
But it's that moment. But during the week, I don't get that because it's like pour the cup of coffee in the travel mug and out the door. You know.
Yeah.
Well, like Rachel
yeah.
on weekends, like because she takes longer to get ready, like she'll literally wake up Saturday morning and she goes, "Ooh, I get an orange."
Oh,
And
all
so
right.
she has an orange with her coffee, and that's like
Doesn't sound good, but together, I mean. But
That's her best.
that's her best.
I disagree.
Wrong.
Kelly Anker says sunshine, which right now, these past couple of days have been
This is
nice
where
with just some
that's true.
sunshine out because it has been so gloomy.
I thought you were going for like this time of year around here.
Right.
And we talked about vitamin D, a week or two ago about how like,
Yeah.
gosh, you got to have some this time of year. But
And it's been so
It's been
bright
nice.
where it's like, it feels like overwhelmingly bright right now because I feel it's been so dark.
yeah.
Like you walk outside, you're like, oh my, that sun is bright.
Saturday when I was working on the disc golf course, I walked across the church parking lot and I literally stopped and I went, "The sun. It's it's warm on my face. Like it wasn't just bright, it was warm.
Right.
It was incredible.
Yeah, that's been nice.
Kindred Curls Salon, not a sponsor. Too bad Brian's not here. Phyllis Feeney Johnston. Phyllis was always
Phyllis.
here back in the day when we were on Facebook, mostly. That was one of our first comments always.
Yeah.
Phyllis Feeney Johnston is listening.
Being retired. Oh man.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Part of me can't wait.
This time next year. Oh man. Yeah. Part of me can't wait just to do things that I want to do. Like I'm not going to be able to stay still.
No.
I'm going to need to do something.
Right. Well, and I think so. The way my brain goes through thinking about retirement, which I think it's the normal thing, right? You are balancing the idea of, oh, that sounds so nice, while not wanting to wish your days away, but also like hoping, like, man, when I get there, I hope that I can do those activities that I want to do. I hope that I can enjoy it. And so I think where Aunt Phil is, like, it's like, that's the best. Like, you are retired and she's
doing it.
clearly
She's
doing retirement the way she wants to do it.
And that's awesome.
Yep.
Because there's people that retire and it's not
great.
good.
No.
Yeah. For several reasons.
Yeah.
Good friend out east, Bethany Wright, owns a nice the coffee scoop, I believe it's called. Reconciliation.
Oh, that's a
we have
deep
our,
answer.
We got our first
is-
serious one.
That is serious.
I mean, don't get me wrong, cup of coffee's pretty serious.
I do love a mug of coffee.
Mug. But I think reconciliation had such a great answer on multiple levels. Because, being reconciled to God, I would say that would be the best thing.
That's, yeah.
The fact that God provided a way for us to be reconciled with the one who created us, that's pretty good. But also on an interpersonal level.
So I mean, I would assume that's what she's talking about, right?
I think she means it to be multifaceted.
Okay, I
I
like
know
it
her
too.
that well.
I think she would have been specific with
Reconciling
fair,
with my
fair.
stupid kids, my jerk boss. But yeah, I think when you amend ways, that's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
Okay, so our buddy Jeff, his answer, we just talked about this last night, he and I, at worship team practice. His answer makes me so sad. He says, something I haven't had in years, restful sleep.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about like his struggles with like sleep apnea, things like
really?
that. Like, and he said he can't wear the machine, and so he's got to, whatever the next step is, like, to figure out. So he is weary right now.
That's terrible. I mean, I had apnea for a minute, and I of course denied it, and Rachel of course was pointing out that I was dying every night in my sleep. Apparently your thyroid helps that. But anyhow, helps stop that. But like, yeah, the fact that he's living like that, can't imagine. Like, I mean.
Well, I mean, when you're tired, like.
It ruins everything.
It does. It's just makes everything annoying. Yeah. So yes, restful sleep. It's the best.
I'll tell you something that's one of my best is watching Jeff.
Oh, play the bass?
When he gets a little bit loose playing the bass.
Yeah, when he gets comfortable in there.
When he just lets it go a little bit. And it is
a good time.
It is so appropriate. You know what I mean? It's the music is coming out of his bass guitar and his body. And it's not anything egregious or self-promoting.
No.
The music,
he's just feeling it.
It is such a good thing to see. Another bland one. Terry Colabrese, good brother in Christ. Also, used to be my mortgage guy. I guess since he retired, he's not my mortgage guy anymore. But knowing that God is speaking to my heart.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. Like,
I just thought you were going to disagree. Like, I don't know.
No, just like it sounds like it's such a confident statement, knowing God is speaking to my heart. I feel like I'm always questioning, you know what I mean? Like, so I could see that as being the best. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I would say this about Terry. I met Terry, 30 years ago, because I don't think I was near married. And he was the one that said to me for the first time, I would never want to go through what I just went through. but I would not trade what I've learned about God.
Yeah.
So you get enough of those battles underneath your belt, and I think you'll know more when it's
Right.
when it's him. You just live such an easy life, Cruz.
That's it. I'm pampered. It's yeah.
No, that's what you're wearing. Ew. It depends.
Hey!
Dawn Pinner.
Yes.
A walk alone on an empty beach in the off season.
Yeah, that's key. That is key. And I wanted to key off on that. No, tee off on that. It's a word like that.
It's unnoble.
In the off season, so we've
Maybe
gone
Thanksgiving.
down. Yes, my family's gone down to Ocracoke in the
Ever
off
heard
season.
of it? Titusville of the Outer Banks.
And I just love the quiet. I love the quiet. So I feel exactly what Dawn is saying there. And her answer actually inspired me. So I did sort of a double list here.
Ooh.
Okay. So I have things that are the best just being, not necessarily doing. So, for example, sitting on the beach listening to the ocean. Like just being and just feeling nature, right? Staring at a fire.
Oh, I love staring at a
Dude,
fire.
you got introspective on the
Yeah, like not making the
introspective,
fire.
but
I can
in
enjoy
detail.
that too, but
Intricate.
I'm talking about
Just
this is just
There's
that
something about
watching
it.
your
Yeah.
son's shoe melt.
Oh, yeah. Right back there in my backyard.
going along with that, smoking a pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Just
You lost Jay on that one.
just being
Making fun of Chris smoking a pipe. No. Listening to Rachel make fun of Chris smoking a pipe.
But then I have doing, not being. For example, playing music, much better than listening to music. For me. Like
Oh,
that's like it's
yeah.
just, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole different level.
Well, like
thing.
when we go to a bar that like has like live music or whatever, I would much rather be playing that
right?
music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Yeah.
And then also like something else, and this goes that, I mean, that's something we love, right? So we enjoy. And then disc golf, for example, or any other like sport or activity you're in. Watching disc golf, fine. Playing, that's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
You know, like being in
dare
the
you.
middle. I can't wait. Jay, I've been dreaming about it. I haven't played in months.
Same.
So there you go.
I'm a disc golf orphan.
No.
Faith Milazzo, water. See, we got a little theme here.
Yeah.
Waves, a river, a creek, a lake.
I love that. There is something very
Yeah. Water's something.
instinctive
There is something
about water.
it. Yeah.
Like people are like you're both scared of it and in wonder of it and like drawn to it. Like it's such a cool
Provides life.
I love being on the water. I mean, like not necessarily on a boat. Like I'm not like a boat guy.
thing. Yeah.
I'll go on a boat, but just being like near the water, like at a restaurant that's on the water,
Automatically better.
automatically better. You know, food is like mid, but like you know,
Not on the
but the-
water.
but
not
the
on the
view
on
is-
the water.
yeah.
You know, no, I agree.
I will
agree.
say a very distinct memory I have is the time I spent in Canada with my dad when we would go fishing in the middle of, nowhere, Canada.
Yeah.
And being literally on
you were
the
ice
water.
fishing, right?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was
Okay.
always like, sometimes it was cold, but it wasn't ice. But it would be, it was always on Kennywood Picnic Day, Memorial Day weekend, we would go up. But just like the beauty and we'd be by this like waterfall every night because the walleye would come up and feed at dark, like as the sun set. And they would come up because the bugs would be around where the water foamed, and then they would come up, and just so to be there from daytime into nighttime. Yeah, like there's just something to that. There's a peacefulness to it.
Yeah.
A big fan of water.
Chesney and my wife Amy are about to find out that they are kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Chesney says fresh sheets are amazing, and we have what is called new sheet day in this house.
Ooh.
Amy
On a
gets
regular?
every week, once a week. Amy changes the sheets.
And named the day.
It's new sheet day, like it's a thing, and I agree.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I love fresh sheets.
Let me ask you this.
I was not this way when I was growing up, or when
I
I
had no idea.
before I was married. Sometimes there wasn't even sheets on the mattress, right? You know, like
Woof.
I know it
On
was
new
tough
sheet
times.
day.
My fun.
On new sheet day, do you shower before bed?
Yeah. Well, I make sure that I'm fresh. I don't know how to. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to, cause there's days where like I'll do like sometimes I'll do every other day because it depends on what I've done. Because like I don't go like I work from home. You know, there's times I'll go.
You have to get into your whole shower pattern.
But you don't like. But
like-
this. But crawling into bed clean is the best.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Clean
So you're
body,
just
clean
saying
sheets.
you don't want to
make
crawl
sure
in
it's
dirty.
cruddy.
Right. I would
Right.
at least need to have a shower that day, earlier in the day, and not feel like I have
Yeah, you get
messed
that,
myself up.
that little elbow sticky when you straighten out the elbow.
Can I say this? So I'm exactly the same way. I got to throw my wife under the bus here.
Oh,
She
won't take much. Not tall.
Yeah, she can just sort of walk under the bus. It's fine. She loves. So when we go to Kennywood, okay?
Oh, I don't even know where you're going with this.
Listen,
Please don't.
we go to Kennywood,
No.
right? And you have a day at Kennywood.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's the first thing I do before I get into bed? I shower.
Check your texts.
I want to crawl into bed clean after that grimy
Yes!
Kennywood day.
Yeah.
She will tell you. So I'm throwing her under the bus, but this is also something she will say.
She would
walk right
under
under
the
the
bus.
She
Yeah.
loves to crawl into bed like with Kennywood all on her.
Oh.
Yes. She loves to like
All right. New podcast tonight. What is grosser than that? What is the worst?
Yeah, now we're doing the worst.
Yeah.
We've done the
What is
best.
worse than crawling into bed with Kennywood on you?
Like, okay, let me ask this.
All right.
Okay. Even if you've been on a water ride,
we haven't done that in many a year, so I
It
don't
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
But she
still.
just likes that feeling. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Oh, I will.
Wow.
Woof.
I can't,
Sorry,
I
Amy.
can't wait for the next game of Quiplash.
Yeah, that's coming out. Oh, what's that scent? Oh, it's Kennywood funk.
That's good.
Should we
good.
dip into Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, Dan Leopold. For those of you who don't know, we did a whole episode or 2 episodes, I think maybe.
It was on the importance of teacher.
Yes.
Before we dip into Dan, though,
Okay.
the best is what we kind of just the moment that we just kind of had. I don't know what to call it. It's not like an inside joke, but like now that we know that Kennywood funk is a thing,
We did.
now
So not
that-
just the laughter, because one of mine is laughter.
Right.
for sure.
Laughter is the best.
But and it's often involved with this example
Correct.
that I'm talking about. But like now,
Taglines.
yeah,
Having a tagline / inside. Not again. It's not an inside joke.
it's not an
a
inside
tagline.
joke. Yeah, it's just that like Kennywood funk is now
Yeah.
going to be a reference.
It's also like
Amy's
this.
Kennywood funk. It's
Yes.
very honest.
Yes,
It's like a
yes.
group discovery too. We discovered
Yes.
something,
and now
It's-
it'll be
yeah.
a thing, and everybody's sitting at
Right.
the table with us, listening to this.
Dick Shorthouse's skin double.
Oh yes, see exactly. Yeah, I know. Oh man.
So what is it? Is it it's not a tagline.
It's just a reference, a throwback.
Callback.
To something, callback to
Random-
something that everybody's gonna get.
Could you
that
call it a
everybody
random
knows.
ass callback? Because like random,
That's a rack.
yeah, wreck. No, that's kind of dumb.
Nah, we're forcing it.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what this isn't.
No, it's
Something
not forced.
It's
Right.
not forced.
Very organic.
And it comes up, and it's usually very, very funny, and then it becomes a thing.
And then when it's no longer funny, it's gone.
Like Brian has zombie feet.
Oh yeah, dead man's feet.
Dead man's feet.
Big fat goalie.
Big fat goalie. Yes, perfect.
There's a lot
example.
about Brian.
Non-versation.
Non-versation.
You know, that's another example.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so yeah, like that to me is the best because like
We've got to define that better.
it's relational. It's something like you really only do it with because like Amy and I have a ton.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And you just develop them over time, and then they just become, and then like then you have kids, and then like your kids start doing things,
Yeah.
and then you reference those things. That to me is the best. Like there's something about it.
It's colloquial.
and It's fun.
It's certainly a colloquialism. which is like Yinzer is a colloquial
Right.
language.
Right.
It's a colloquial experience. I don't know.
A personal colloquial.
Yeah, it's like a personal
Intimate
colloquialism.
colloquial tagline.
Yeah.
Old
That would be a,
colloquial.
man.
How do we
that-
even spell colloquial? Is that a
I'm not
C?
saying we do that episode, but that would be a fun one if we had a bunch of people reply with like what it is and
with-
why
with no-
with the back. We guess it. We guess it. and-
Matching.
what do you
No,
mean?
like we get a list of the colloquialisms, and then we get a matching of the descriptions. Oh, screens went dark when the power went on.
All
When
right.
your furnace came on.
We're still good.
I don't know. You're the tech guy.
Yeah, everything just blacked out for a second.
I thought it was because I blinked.
No, we're still good. Thank goodness. Let's keep going.
So yeah, Dan Leopold.
Yeah, Dan, he went ahead and commented with a picture, and it said, "The best can fall into many categories. Here are my 3." Chris, lead us off.
This is so him too.
Oh, it's
because if
very
you
Dan.
listen to his episodes, like he has all these like categories of sayings and things that he does.
And he prioritizes the best. Like he lives his life to the best.
These are great. So his first category is being the best. That innate need to be successful, reflecting on one's life and realizing you made it, winning a championship that was difficult, publishing a book that brings people joy, or just finding peace.
It's funny because I think for especially Eric, maybe Chris to a degree, you're like, I don't know if I've ever been my best. And like
Oh, I'll never be my best. I mean, that's imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough to have imposter syndrome. Or to,
Right.
you know what I mean? That's you never heard that one?
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Amy told me that one time, and I was like,
that's
that's
funny.
exactly how I feel. But no, it's those things are all great, and I think like let's think about the good things. Like God tells us to focus on the
and I
good
think we
things.
can categorize that into accomplishments. Like
Right.
when you've made it, when you've finished it, when you've done it.
Yeah.
When you've
reached a goal.
Right. Well, and like and the other thing that I don't like about I like this, but like for me, it's tough for me to do this sometimes because like we just had our self reviews at work, and it's basically me going through like why I'm awesome at my job, and it is so hard for me to do that. But then like when I look at it and I like make the list and look at all my accomplishments in
You're
the
like, boy,
year,
this guy's successful.
I'm like, this guy's pretty good.
I wish I could be as good as he
Hire
is.
him.
Man.
Yeah, what are you doing with me? Well, I think back to as far as like the accomplishment of it all, The Office, when it's St. Patrick's Day and they want to leave, and Joe, is it Joe? Yeah, whatever her name is, who owns
Saber.
Yeah.
Saber.
Yeah.
You think you can go ahead and put your head on the pillow and put a stamp on this day as if you have done the best you can do? And Michael walks out of the office. Nope, not leaving yet. We're not leaving yet.
That's a good one. You want me to take the next one? Experiencing the best. This is the best cherry tomato I've ever had. Waldport, Oregon, 1996.
He keeps good records.
I'm saying it's been like 28 years since he's had a cherry tomato that hasn't matched up to it. A perfectly cooked fillet, fresh walleye that was cooked over a campfire, a cold Coke, and a glass bottle. Yeah, there is something, and you do remember it, man. Like you had that steak or whatever.
Little Zagreb.
Yeah.
And I had it twice.
Yeah.
This is the second walleye reference of the night. Is that Good Eats?
This is a walleye talk.
I've never
Or
had a
you
walleye.
say-
Yeah. Walleye's
Yeah.
as good of a fish as you're ever gonna eat.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Oh, it's
I've
so
never
good.
had it.
Me neither.
Oh,
Can you
it's-
get it?
Yeah, they have it sometimes down at Woolies.
Okay.
Walleye
it's-
at Woolies?
And mind you, the only time I've ever... No, that's not true. I was say I've only ever had it in Canada.
Wow.
Hours out of the lake.
And I was gonna say, and he does say cooked over a campfire.
Over a campfire.
So there's something
But
there.
we've brought some home, and it's still pretty stinking amazing.
Yeah.
It's just very clean. It's just
fish.
good. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's such a
Stinking
good fish.
amazing. That sounds like
And they have gigantic eyes, which is funny. Because we named
yeah.
walleyes.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So he goes into the best emotions.
Yes, he says at the beach, watching the waves, there we go again, crash, and remembering a relative that has passed, and you sense their spirit is sitting next to you. Seeing someone you love enjoy the best of something. Those are two separate things.
Yeah.
So one is being at the beach and sensing the presence of somebody who's gone before you, being with you in their presence. Now, theologically, I don't inherently align with that, but I think remembering people
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about people, having good thoughts, good memories.
So, I'm leading grief share at the church, and it's interesting. These are people. I mean, there's people who have lost people years ago, and a lot of people who have lost people in the last 2 months, which is almost too soon for them to be there. But we talk about grief storms, and that's when you hear a song that reminds you of your loved one, and all of a sudden you find yourself crying, like you weren't ready for this, and then all of a sudden it's a smell, or you see there this or something like that, and then there's the events, the landmines that are ahead of you, like, okay, here comes their birthday, or this is our anniversary, or whatever. I say all that to say, like when Trey first passed away, it was hard to see videos of him, and I would force myself to do it, and then now 10 years down the road, like it's all good. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, oh, it's the butter dance.
Yeah.
Or oh, it's this time. And, so those are those times when you're just like, you're right in the pocket there and you feel good.
Yeah.
So I like the beach thing. And also when you see someone you love enjoy the best of something. So not even just vicariously enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because you're not enjoying it through them.
But you're enjoying them. Yeah.
Enjoying it.
Like Maggie at Monster Jam on Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, I can't wait. Take some video.
Oh, dude. Yeah. We'll be there.
And he goes on to say, one of the keys to living a wonderful life, which, by the way, bold statement, classic Dan,
Bold statement.
Right.
is to look for and work hard to attain the best each and every day.
Oh, I can't.
No, we're staying positive.
Right.
Celebrate the wins in your daily life. That, I think, is such a brilliant statement. Full disclosure, I'm working on that with Bella right now. Like, there's sometimes just a cloud of negativity.
Right.
And around a lot of this generation, not to sound like an old man.
No, there definitely is.
There is. There's so much doom. And I mean, 3 years of their life was taken by nonsense, with all due respect.
That, and, and I don't want to be that guy, but like social media is definitely
breeds negativity.
Breeds negative. Well, and it just breeds envy, I guess, like jealousy.
Sure.
Like, so like you feel like you're missing out or not doing as good. You're not far along in your career. Or,
you only see the best that people project.
Exactly.
Which may or may not be real.
And
not the rest.
So I feel like that's just something that's weighing on the entire. I mean, it affects everybody,
right?
But I feel like it's
the making of your bed thing. That's one of the biggest impacts you can have on your daily life is to make your bed every day.
Yeah.
Why? Well, that's a win.
It's a win, and you're setting yourself up for nighttime. When you go back and you have an inviting.
It's
bed
the
to come
second
back
best
to.
thing to fresh sheets.
Is a
made bed. Yeah.
It really is. And
there is something.
I started doing that. Did I tell you guys that along with my journaling?
No.
That's one of my things. I'm making my bed every day.
Oh yeah.
And
now let me ask you this though: do you make your bed, or you just make sure the covers are pulled up?
I straighten things some. And
that's a win.
It's a win.
That's all I do.
I don't like tuck them in or anything.
It is different because like there's something about just being able to get in, because if you don't make your bed, you got to get the sheets in the right way.
And you just feel like everything's loosey-goosey.
And you're not just getting in. Yeah, you're not just getting in.
So I think no matter what they are, we should celebrate the victories. I agree wholeheartedly with Dan.
Yeah.
And we need to define not define, but we need to
better
recognize how many victories are in a day.
Yeah.
Again, coming out of grief share, like the lady's like, yeah, I'm setting goals. Last week it was to go to the store. This week I went back to work. And I'm like, that's great. Those are huge victories.
Yeah.
Like, you're sitting around and just debilitated. So those are big steps.
That's a key statement then. Celebrate the wins in your daily life.
Make events the best that they can be. Pause and enjoy those best emotions. Remind yourself of the good that you have done and the good that you'll do today. I think that whole can be summarized as making the best of everything.
Yeah.
Make the best of the day.
And, just like anything else in life, that takes work.
Intention.
And
right. Work, yes.
Right. Because, I mean, just
a little traction.
Diet and exercise, like it's it all takes work. But that's really good.
And I take, I take umbrage with the best, and I, of course, made up this podcast tonight. But how people say, I gave it my all. And I'm always like, really? I don't think I've ever given my all at anything, but like,
Yeah.
if you push it towards the best, at least that's getting somewhere,
Right. Right.
And he concludes with, the best is a little piece of heaven that God allows us to enjoy now here on earth in the present.
I agree with that.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. There's times that like there's things that you just get to experience and get to enjoy. And like just I think one of the like to add on that, just being grateful for those things, is just that's the best.
So he compares, it to little pieces of heaven that God allows us to have. And then our next comment, Jessica Calv.
Yeah. You know who that is.
Mow hands.
Aw, Jess.
And by the way, Joe said, great boss.
Yes. Oh, he did.
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's
he is
awesome.
really enjoying working at Mohans. That was so fun to hear him talk about
And said
that.
her mom
Yeah.
said, and that's his favorite.
Yeah, he said one of my favorite people.
Yeah. She's
Or two-
great.
How he said it more grammatically correct than I just
We
did.
need to have
but yeah.
Mow hands night.
So she says the feeling of sitting in a spotless room in your house after you've gutted it and reorganized.
Like a basement. Like a
It's,
game room.
That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
But she says it's like heaven to me. So there you
Yeah.
go, little piece of heaven.
Yeah. I do like that.
And I'll tag on to that too. Like I added to my list, the last chore of the day. Oh, that's the best. Like if you like on a Saturday, I'll have a chore list, right?
Oh, okay.
Things I gotta get done
Yeah.
for the day. Especially if I could get that list done when there's some decent amount of daylight left, then I know it's
You do
time.
a lot more chores than I do.
You're just always I think I save my chores is the problem.
Right.
Like you're always doing.
You're you're just on a different schedule.
That's true. I
So
have a
like
different
you can kind of like put things in during the day and get them done, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
you're working at night, and whatever. And I agree with you. And one of my favorites is getting the grass cut.
Oh,
And
yeah.
after, and then you,
but not cutting it. It's when it's done.
when it's done. And when
Yeah.
you sit back and you look at it, and
Yes.
you're like, look at that edge.
And you avoid that thought of,
Look at that
I can
edge.
see it growing already.
Yeah, you sit back and you're
You look-
smoking a pipe.
You see,
and
you see that one dandelion that you're like, oh.
I'll tell you, here's another one. If we're all moving on to grass, when your boy is old enough to cut the grass,
Yeah.
and he does, or your child, or your girl, and then like 3 days later, you hear him say, "But I just cut it. How is it already?" I'm like, "That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to my world, pal."
Beth Rozanik, best thing in life, my 4 amazing kids. Best moment of the day, laying down in bed each night.
Regardless of sheet status.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, but I will add that to Chris. I will join you in when the last chore is done. Like I am a very big, and I wasn't always, but I've become a system guy. I have my system for this, my system for that. I have my order, and so
Sound like my wife.
And so like when I go to bed, and I finish, contacts, brush the teeth.
Your routine.
Actually, no, wash the face, brush the teeth, wash the face, do the contacts, go to the bathroom, and now it's bedtime. And you're just like, and I'm heading into bed. So I join her in that and getting the last of the things done of the day. Because I don't leave dishes in the sink overnight. I don't leave the house a mess. So like once it's all done, I've done all the systems, I've done all the procedures, it's time for bed. Ann DeVito, good long-time Penn Hills resident, good friend of many in Penn Hills and a friend of mine. Dogs. Any breed, any size. They love you no matter what you look like, smell like. They're the most loyal and loving creatures and always happy to see you. I did not know Ann was a big dog fan.
Yeah, dogs are the best, though.
I love dogs.
Yeah.
You know what else though?
Nope.
Cats.
Nope.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
I read this. If you replace the word dogs with cats,
You'd be wrong.
I would not be. That's how great our cats are and how much affectionate they are, and we love them. Oh my god.
I would say.
But we're focusing on dogs right now because that's what Ann pointed out.
Yeah.
I
You
love
don't want
that
to
for
steal the best
No,
from
I mean,
Ann.
I
I
will
love
say,
that for her. I love that for
if
her.
we're talking track record, dogs are more consistent and more fun to be around.
You get a rare bad dog.
Yeah, I've been around
Cats are
some
50-50 at best.
mean ass cats.
Let's focus. Let's focus on the dogs again, though.
Yeah.
It is so true how much they just want to be with you.
Yeah,
They just, now that could be also their downfall because it gets a little like for Rachel when Dr. Knowledge always just wanted to be a lap dog and she didn't want the dog on her lap. And every time she got up, she would fall over top of him and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because he loved her so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite like videos that people post are when a family gets a dog and like the reaction of the grown man of the house, whether he's like 50 or, you know, like early dad, you know, whatever. But like when he sees a puppy and like he knows, like they're always like, they turn into little kids, you know, and they just get so excited.
At some point before, see, I have made the declaration I'm never getting another pet. So this is going to kind of get in the way of my next statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said I'll get another dog whenever they're free, cost nothing to maintain, and never die. So that's still on the table. But man, I've always wanted a giant dog. Like a gentle giant.
Like a Great Dane.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Some of the biggest of dogs.
Akita.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Something that like is just gonna come lay on you next to the couch. And
that doesn't realize how big it is.
Yes.
You guys are all very different from me. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Here, wait. I have to read the next one because it's one of my favorites as I read it. Bob Cheney, good friend, great guy.
Yeah.
Having a cup of coffee. Okay. And cake. Sure. In a cafe. Yeah. With a good friend. Oh, that's true. On a sunny day. Surrounded by the Alps. Well, I suppose that would be the best now, wouldn't it?
That would be the best.
And my man has done it. He takes people on tours of Germany.
Yeah.
And that might be one of the most specific and hard to argue.
That's the most specific of the evening. And I've always wanted to see the Alps. Like I've only seen pictures, and I'm sure, you know, it's like I've seen the Grand Canyon, and it's true. Like pictures don't really do it justice because it's just incredible. But man,
it's breathtaking.
I've been to Colorado and stuff, but I've seen some pictures of mountains like over across the pond that just look unreal.
It's wild when you are, you know, because we took our Europe trip to Germany and Austria a couple years ago, or oh my gosh, 7 years ago now.
Yep.
But
Germany was still divided back then.
When you are up, like you've driven up the mountains, you have hiked up into the mountains. It is hard to breathe.
Yes, I've experienced that.
And yet you're still looking around at these mountains that are towering over where you are.
Yeah.
Like it is majestic.
It's a big earth.
I know, and yet tiny in the grand scheme of things.
Right?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Ooh, can I tag? That's a perfect time. I got to tag on this. Listen, great moments. One of them, I didn't know what to call it. I called it brain enlargement. It's not really, it sounds painful, I know. But listen, here's what it is. You have those moments where like...
aha moments?
Well, not... So epiphanies are a different thing. So that, I did count epiphany as like a best type of moment when you're like, oh my gosh. But you know how like they always say like... the human brain can't grasp infinity. It can't grasp the size of the universe. It can't grasp the size of God and like the size, you know, things like that.
Cleveland Brown fans don't understand those.
Or how small things can get. Or you could go whatever direction in that sort of way, like the vastness of something, right?
Or like realizing like somebody else is like a completely separate being.
Yeah, or you just have those moments.
There is a word for that.
Okay.
And it's a weird word. I can't think of it. But yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like
almost out of body.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have those moments where you feel like just for a moment your brain can almost recognize something that it's not supposed to be able to recognize. And you're like, oh, I can kind of see it. And then you come back into yourself.
Yeah. I know exactly
those moments
what you're
are the
talking
best.
about. Have you ever had that?
Clearly not.
Dude,
I'm looking
I
at
know
both of you
exactly what you're talking about. And there is a word. I'm going to try to find out what that word is.
I that'd be cool. I would never thought there was a word for it.
Yeah.
You know, brain enlargement.
You'll be.
Oh my goodness.
That would be the best.
Oh man, hey Patton. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Sally Herr. She's got her list. She says being a parent.
Yep.
Absolutely. Then a grandparent. I like that this is a progression here. So like being a parent and then becoming a grandparent. Like I've kind of looked ahead into those days. You know what I mean? Like imagine your kids having kids, like something very...
I'm avoiding that. But
okay. All right.
For now.
Yeah, and then,
right.
And then she says being with the whole family. But then she goes, in a different direction. She's the sounds of the beach. What?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking of the Beach Boys album. It's Pet Sounds. It's not Beach Sounds. Never mind.
No, I think for those, well, again, there is the family you were born into and the family that you gathered along the way. So if we include both families, when you have a good family and everybody's together, and now we combine one of mine, which is just laughter, great meals, great times, quiplash, if you will. Speaking of that, Mary Lynn, the beach, and her family, of course.
Man, you know what I think is amiss on this? So we should have attached some emotional needs to some of these. So going back to Sally's, like
belonging.
Like you can tell she has a high need of belonging, and and
that was a giant miss on our part. We could have done this the whole night long.
I know.
Let's start again.
All right, everybody, welcome.
But yeah, moving on to Mary Lynn, the beach, and my family, of course. And being at the beach with your family, like it's yeah.
Talk about a good place for those brain enlargement moments, like when the vastness of the ocean, the vastness of the sky, like just the the majesty of it all.
Yeah. Bella Mitlow,
Otherwise known as.
Bella.
There you go.
Putting on clothes fresh out of the dryer. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I'll do it on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And a good caramel iced latte with almond milk.
Okay. She's got her very specific best
the
drink.
fresh clothes
I can
out of the
appreciate
dryer is a good one.
Yeah.
Fresh, clean clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, or wearing Amy Davidson's Kennywood Funk clothes. Oh, that's the best.
They're baked in there.
You put a pair of socks from Kennywood
Well,
on.
listen, I got to defend her a little bit when we use the word funk. She never smells bad.
No, it's Kennywood Funk.
Okay.
Right.
It's not Amy Funk.
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
No, that's Amy Hugh. Deanna Latif, a recent graduate of Penn Hills High School, laughing with my best friends.
There
We
you
talk
go.
about that. A good hair and makeup day.
I love those.
Oh, I know Amy can appreciate a good hair and makeup day. Like she'll even call it out to me. She's like, "I'm having a good hair day," and I'm like, "That's great." 'Cause I'm like,
So are you, Eric.
It always looks good. Oh yeah,
Okay,
because I don't have any
I thought
hair.
that's what you were.
No, but I'm
yeah.
like, it looks the same as it did yesterday. But I love it.
Yeah. That's good.
Hannah Elizabeth.
You know who she's the sister-in-law to? Josh Hughes.
All
right,
Josh.
cool.
Josh. So much I consider to be the best, the simple things in life for sure, like sunsets and sunrises, yoga, nature, animals, making others smile, laughing, fresh sheets, heck yes.
Wow, it's like she's listening.
Glimmers are everywhere. And I like that. Like the best is recognizing the good things. You
Is
know?
she saying
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Is she saying
yeah.
glimmers of the best in all these different things? Is
Yeah,
that
just in everywhere.
There are
Like,
glimmers of the best in
Yeah.
all things.
And that's
Okay.
the thing,
I like that.
talking about like with what you were mentioning with Bella earlier, like there's something good everywhere. You can always find something good to think about or, whatever. Yeah, I agree.
Listen,
Before we go to the last one.
okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to the last one, so you go.
Well, because I have to say.
You got to set it up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. This is my favorite, though. What a sentence.
So we posted on
Do you have the post?
Facebook. I don't. I was vamping until you find it. We posted on Facebook that we wanted people to
Here it
reply.
is. What do you consider to be the best? Freshly washed sheets? A first kiss? Charcoal? Oh, butterflies in your belly, though, when you get that first kiss.
Yeah.
That's the best. Yeah. I haven't had it in a while.
No.
Just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, freshly washed sheets, first kiss, charcoal steak, a shower at the beach after a day in the sun. What is it? And Turtle, he's so funny.
He's so funny.
He's so funny. What did he say, Chris?
He said, the first time I kissed a charcoal steak under clean sheets after a day in the shower on Christmas morning on the beach.
That's it, my man.
That is the best.
That would be the best. Let me tell you right there. That is the best. And I replied to him and I said, that answer is the best. Turtle's the best.
Jay, did you have any? Did you put yours?
I chimed in with laughter.
I know you said
and
laughter.
family. The
Okay.
only other one I would add.
I don't know if you want to like talk any more about that at all.
No.
Okay.
My only other one I would do is when I recognize that I have had impact. Like for when and it can be something as simple like when somebody's sharing an emotion with me and I go, yeah, it's kind of like, and you see them go, yeah. I'm like, score.
I do like that. That is because like one thing about me is I don't like attention.
Me neither. I don't like it when you get attention.
Well, and for me, it's an exercise. Like, I mean, it's kind of normal now that I'm on the podcast and I'm doing it, whatever. But like, this isn't my favorite thing to do, like talk. I'm a behind the scenes guy.
Oh yeah, and you're great at it.
And that's that's where I feel most comfortable. Like I'm playing the drums,
Right.
in the back,
Right.
I'm back there. I'm not out front. I'm keeping the beat. I'm holding things together back there. At work when I set somebody else up to win, that's my favorite. Like I don't care to get any record. I don't really care.
Right.
But when I see somebody else get a win because of like something that we did to, like I love that. That's the best. Yeah.
Can I add one more? This is 7 seconds, maybe, of the best. You get that perfect throw in disc
I
golf.
wondered if that was going to come up.
Yes, and you're just like, you get like
7 seconds.
I'm just like a great draw. Okay, 5 seconds. I don't
you
know.
mean it's in the air for that long?
Yeah.
I've never thrown a disc for 7 seconds. You know how long that is?
I don't. Is that long? Okay, whatever. 5 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, 5 seconds. 5
6,
seconds.
It is
7.
great.
But
Maybe on top
during
of a
those
hill.
during those 5 seconds,
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, that felt good. Ooh, that looks good. And then there's nothing
And then
to do
it is
except
good.
watch it.
Yes.
Like you have 5 seconds of the most peaceful, beautiful flight. Like it
is great because because other than that, like the opposite of that is like, oh, I gotta watch. Where's it going?
Right.
In the woods. All right. I
kicked off 2
I gotta
trees.
hold
That kinda
that little hole right there. That's
That
what
is
I
the
gotta
worst.
focus on. Ricky Wysocki knows 8 seconds.
Oh, easy.
No, that was good.
And we're going to wrap up the best episode 232. Yeah. Please make sure to give us a like or follow on social media. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, take our relational needs questionnaire. And as always, thanks for joining us at the table for Lunchtime in Rome.
See you next week.
Bye.